There are so many games coming out these days, and shockingly, some of them are actually good, so we don't have time to play everything. That's why I'm here to tell you about a few games you probably skipped, but should play. And if you did play these, well then, congrats, you get 5 gamer points. These aren't the best games ever or some life-changing cinematic experiences. If they were, you probably would have played them already. But I do think these are games a lot of people would actually enjoy. So first off on my list I have Vampyr. You know, like vampire, but with Y, because apparently that makes it a little bit cooler. So, big shocker coming, but you play as a vampire. But your character is also a doctor, so there's this obvious dilemma about, eating someone. And honestly, the game handles that idea pretty well. There's a lot of dialogue in this game, and I mean a lot. So if you hate talking to NPCs, this might actually be your personal horror game. But the whole thing is set in early 1900s London, and every night you go out trying to keep the city healthy, while the game is basically telling you could just, eat that guy and become stronger. That's the best part of Vampyr. Feeding on people gives you more power, but you're not just killing random NPCs who exist to stand next to a lamppost. These people are connected to the city, so if you start snacking too aggressively, you can actually make things worse for everyone. The combat gets repetitive kind of fast, and it's not exactly the smoothest thing ever made. It has that slightly janky feeling where the idea is better than the actual fighting sometimes, but I don't think the combat ruins the game, it's just not the reason I'd tell somebody to play it. Where Vampyr actually shines is the dialogue, the setting and the atmosphere. One thing I have to glaze Vampyr for is London. It actually looks beautiful in that miserable, sick, everybody needs medicine kind of way, which is perfect for a vampire game. The streets feel dirty, tired and kind of depressing, but in a good way. I don't know if that makes sense, but it does when you're actually playing it. So yeah, Vampyr is janky, it's weird and the combat is kind of whatever, but I still think about the game more than a lot of games that are technically better, and that's usually a good thing.
Rational thinking only.
Next up we got Scarlet Nexus, and this is basically the complete opposite of Vampyr. Vampyr is this dark, slow, miserable vampire doctor game, and Scarlet Nexus is futuristic anime chaos where people with psychic powers or whatever fight monsters that look like somebody just had a nightmare. Cool thing about Scarlet Nexus is that it has 2 protagonists and you see the story from both of their sides. So the game does give you a reason to play it twice. It's not completely different or anything, but you do get more context, different moments and a better picture of what's actually going on. The story itself is okay, it gets very anime very fast. There are government secrets, psychic powers, dramatic betrayals, memory stuff, monsters falling from the sky, and characters saying the most insane things with completely serious face. So if you hate anime nonsense, the game might beat you to death with it. Also, a lot of cutscenes are done with these still image panel things. It's kind of hard to explain, so I'll just show it on the screen. I didn't hate it, but it definitely has that we had to save budget somewhere energy. But the combat is easily where the game shines. You have these telekinetic powers, so you can rip stuff from the environment and throw it at enemies. And I don't mean throwing like a little rock, like a sad wizard. You can throw a fucking bus straight to an enemy's face. Then on top of that, your party members have different abilities you can borrow during combat. So you can add electricity, fire, invisibility, duplication, teleporting, all this flashy anime bullshit that makes the combat feel better the longer you play. And there's actually a pretty big skill tree as well, so the combat keeps opening up instead of staying the same for the whole game. That's why I think it would be a mistake to write Scarlet Nexus off as just another anime game. The story can be a bit much, and sometimes the game is absolutely drowning in its own anime sauce, but the combat is genuinely really fun. If you like action RPGs and you can survive the game being aggressively anime, Scarlet Nexus is way more fun than it looks from the outside. Then we got Styx Master of Shadows, and this is actually one of my favorite stealth games. You play as Styx, this green goblin thing with anger issues, and the whole game is basically about sneaking around, stealing stuff, killing people quietly, and trying not to get cooked the second somebody sees you. And if you're not into stealth gameplay, well, tough luck, because this game does not really have a plan B. There is combat technically, but it's not the kind of combat where you can get caught and suddenly turn into a Batman. If guard finds you, you can maybe survive one guy if you don't panic like an idiot, but if there's more than one, then yeah, you're probably dead. And honestly, I kind of like it. A lot of stealth games say don't get caught, and if you do get caught, you can just murder the entire room and leave like nothing happened. The stealth itself is really well made, the maps are big, there are multiple ways to get where you need to go, and the game gives you enough tools to feel clever without making you overpowered. You have abilities that help you stay hidden, create distractions, and get out of bad situations when everything goes wrong, which for me is usually about 30 seconds after I say, I got this. The story is nothing to write home about, but Styx himself carries a lot of the game. He's sarcastic, rude, annoying, and actually kind of funny. It has that edgy humor that could be terrible, but weirdly it works here. It's like Borderlands humor, but actually funny. The game is definitely a bit janky, and yeah, visually it's not exactly melting your graphics card, but if you do like stealth games, I honestly think Styx is a must play. The last game I have for you is MiSide, and honestly, it's one of those games where the less you know the better. It's this anime aesthetic psychological horror game, kind of similar to Doki Doki Literature Club, where it looks cute at first, but your brain immediately starts going, okay, why is this cute? Because in horror games, cute anime girls are never just cute anime girls. They are bait. It disguises itself really well as this cutesy anime dating simulator thing, but the longer you play, the more the game starts feeling wrong in a way that is hard to explain without spoiling it. There are horror moments and jump scares, but I don't think that's the best part of the game. The best part is the psychological stuff. It's that feeling where everything looks normal, but you know something is off. A room feels weird, a character says something slightly wrong, the game acts cute, but you're sitting there like, I don't trust you. And honestly, that works on me way more than just throwing loud noises at my face every 5 minutes. It also has a lot more comedy than I expected. There are moments where the game is genuinely funny, which makes the creepy parts hit even harder because you start relaxing for 2 seconds and then you remember you're probably being emotionally manipulated by an anime girl. So yeah, if you like anime or psychological horror, MiSide is definitely worth playing. And if you don't like either of those things, well, tough titties, play it anyway. So yeah, those are my few gems for you. If you have any games you think I should play, tell me in the comments, because apparently my backlog is not suffering enough already. Subscribe and I love you. Bye.